हेलो एवरीबॉडी, आई होप कि आप सब बहुत अच्छे होंगे। एक और ब्रांड न्यू पॉडकास्ट में आपका स्वागत है। आज हमारे गेस्ट है मिस्टर देसराज पाठक सर, जो कि सीओओ है PT&D के जैक्सन इंफ्रा ग्रुप से। और आज इन्हीं से हम बहुत सारे एक्चुअली सवाल पूछने वाले हैं, ड्राइव इन करने वाले हैं, क्या विजन होने वाला है जैक्सन इंफ्रा का, इन सभी के ऊपर बात करेंगे। लेकिन उनसे पहले सर का हमारा वेलकम करते हैं। सर, वेलकम टू RS Live.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving your time. And before we dive into the question which I have to ask you, I want you to just introduce yourself to our audience, and then we'll move forward.
My name is Deshraj Pathak, and I am heading 4 divisions: transmission line, substation, distribution network, and metro electrification. So all across India and abroad also. Under Jackson Infra. Jackson Infra is a group company under infrastructure arm of Jackson Group Company.
Okay.
Which is a 8,000 plus crore company,
Mm-hmm.
having manufacturing base for DG generator set, 2 factories, and there are solar module manufacturing units also,
Okay.
and biomass biofuel plant is also there.
Okay.
So we are growing very fast and sustainably. I hope we will be having a good conversation.
Sure, sir.
We'll be able to tell you more about Jackson Infra going.
Sure, sir. We'll love to know more about the Jackson Infra. So moving to our first question, voice of vision जो कंटेंट है, इसका क्या मीनिंग है सर जैक्सन इंफ्रा PT&D बिजनेस के लिए? जो voice of vision आपने ये जो
See, voice of vision means there should be some aim, some mission for which the entire organization is moving towards.
Okay.
तो Jackson Infra के अंदर we are trying to position ourselves as a one of the leading infrastructure EPC company. EPC means engineering, procurement and construction company, with our people focus cultures all across Jackson Infra.
Okay. So what is Jackson Infra core mission? Shaping the future of our country, India.
See, today if अगर आप ये देखें तो आज इंडिया में there are many good policies are going on.
Yeah.
One is like our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi has given the mission 2047, Viksit Bharat.
Viksit Bharat.
Another concept is going on, that non-fossil fuel based generation capacity of electricity by 2030 we need to reach 500 gigawatt.
Okay.
So India is growing very fast and huge potential is there all across sector. Whether you just see whether it is metro, whether it is rail, whether it is road, water or energy sector, everywhere, whether it is we cannot leave IT infrastructure, AI, everywhere now India is dominating, and the kind of the growth projection is there. I can say that with God grace we born in a very right place, that is called India.
In this big world, big
Yes.
universe.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Moving to our next question. What are the biggest opportunity or challenges you see in today PT&D sector?
See, the biggest opportunity, as I said, that because of that government mission of renewable energy of 500 gigawatt by 2030, I just wanted to share some insight so that everybody, all the audience will be able to correlate that. During last say 75 years after the independence or so far, the transmission line which has been built is somewhere near 12.5 lakh circuit kilometer,
Oh wow.
and in next 5 years we have to reach to 27 lakhs circuit kilometer.
So in 75 years,
Yes.
what we have reached
Yes,
in next 5 years almost more than
almost that the same
Ah.
capacity we need to build
in only 5 years.
in only 5 years.
Wow.
And similarly in substation also, whatever capacity was built, almost 80% more we need to build within next 5 years.
Because of the requirement of the infrastructure.
Because earlier all the energy was from the thermal plant or such kind of this power project, which are now getting reduced now, and the green energy corridors, renewable energy to control the pollution are being developed, and these pockets are in Rajasthan, Gujarat, MP, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. Lot of projects are there in these areas, and from this place now lot of transmission line, other infrastructure is being created to take the power from these power center to rest of the country. So huge infrastructure needs to be built. Another thing is that now you can just see that like lot of electric vehicles movement is there. These you need electricity then.
Yeah.
To
For EV
control.
revolution we need.
Yes. Yes.
EV revolution.
And then every city, class 1, class A, class B, class C cities, everywhere that now metro network and all those rapid rail corridors are being built up. All these networks are again built upon that electricity only.
Correct.
To control the power. So there is a huge demand on power sector, and we are in a right place right now, we can say. As far as challenges are there, what I told you, that opportunity is huge. But to meet that opportunity, first you need some kind of capital. Second is that you need technology. Third is that you need the resources. Now on capital front, because the India is very, I can say that very settled country politically, there is no hindrance, and we are exponentially we are growing now. So lot of persons are there, lot of agencies, lot of outsiders to put in the money all across these sectors. So capital is there. Now lot of innovation and so many other modernization are required to you catch up that whatever target is there to build by 2030. Another thing is that now the kind of demand is there. You will be surprised to know that there is not much human capital available right now to cater to these needs. That is why almost all the sectors are now struggling for the skilled manpower, skilled and unskilled both. So you can just see that these are the challenges which we need to come across, and we need to tackle these things very carefully so that on time we can deliver. Then other than this, there are the challenges like so many transmission lines are being made, and so many railway corridors and other things. So right of way remains another challenge to access that route. Then government approvals, statutory approvals are another bigger challenge. So these are the challenges which we need to tackle to move forward.
But I think government is working very hard on skill development.
Yes.
The sort of the number of licenses, or ease of doing business. I think they are doing it.
Yeah, because these voices has already gone to government. Government also is able to recognize this skill gaps, and that is why they are also putting lot of efforts on skill development. They are creating many centers, many training opportunities are being created, and not only government, private sectors are also putting lot of efforts in this direction.
And I think it's a good opportunity. I think it's a good approach to grow a country like India, where government and private company and entity are working together.
Yes.
To grow this country.
Yes.
Where we wanted to see as an Indian.
Correct.
Moving to our next question, sir. What recently milestone or achievement make you most proud, sir?
See, the thing is that now every year on year, we are able to commission many projects. Last year we have commissioned our first international substation and transmission line project in Nepal. Then we have commissioned many substations for power grid, especially in Bikaner, Badla and Fatehgarh in Rajasthan area, which is related with this green energy corridor.
Right.
Other than this, we are going to complete a much bigger project in Prayagraj. That entire Prayagraj district, the distribution projects is with us. which almost 95% we have already completed, and within 2 months we will be commissioning these projects. West Bengal also we are executing the same. Last year we have won almost 3,500 crores worth new projects,
Okay.
and out of that some major is the 765 kV substation projects through Power Grid and through NTPC.
Oh wow.
It has opened a new front gate for us to enter into substation high voltage segment. Other than this, we have got repeat orders from metro electrification. From Bangalore we got third order,
Okay.
and Chennai metro we got VRL1 with the Kolkata metro. Mumbai we have got VRL1 in one of the biggest package.
Many congratulations, sir.
So
As a metro lover, it's good to see, good to listen that Jackson is doing such a well. So many congratulations. Movies to our next question, sir. How is technology changing the way we approach PT&D projects?
yes, see right now, as I earlier said, the kind of the skill gap is there. That to cover this skill gap, you need to adopt more machinery, more mechanization, more innovation technology. So I can tell you, I have worked in many countries abroad also, like Brazil, Chile, and many African countries, and the SAARC and Middle East countries also. Lot of mechanizations are there, heavy machineries are being deployed. Now in India also that same trend is being followed. When I was I had got a chance to even experiment helicrane operation in our Jammu Kashmir, in one of the Jammu Kashmir project
Okay.
for constructing the transmission line
First time in India and something.
for some other previous company.
Okay.
But in India, in Jammu Kashmir, and then Northeast also, we have experimented
Okay.
that lighter version of helicopter. Not many projects are now using the drone technology for survey, for some kind of pilot wire paying out, and many other opportunities are there. So innovation and adopting the latest technology is the only solution at present to meet the timelines within the given constraint of available manpower.
So in technology, you can achieve the quality also.
Quality also.
Because you can.
Very well said.
Yeah, in with the based on the manpower. Of course, we need the manpower, skilled manpower. That is required all the time. But to handle that, you need a technology as well, so that we can do a productive quality work
Yes.
instead of just the regular method we follow. And technology is
Quality and safety both are
uh,
protected there.
yes, and which is you're solving it very well, adopting the technology in PT&D there. Can you say any innovation or digital initiative Jackson Infra is working on, sir?
See, Jackson is now working on many modernization projects. We are deploying some latest technology all across our project, whether it is substation, whether it is metro electrification or distribution projects.
Okay.
We are also developing in-house our softwares to capture the various project site reports, compiling those reports and putting into data analytics and giving us in a simple form, and lot many other softwares for the designing and that detailing purpose we are deploying within that our organization. Our engineering is now one of the strongest team, where we are working on many latest softwares for the faster output and accurate output.
Right. To use that data to help achieve the
Yes.
target before that.
Yes.
Right. How do you see the integration of smart grid and renewable energy impact on the PTN?
See, whatever project I can say right now, what we are executing
Yeah.
is mostly for the green energy corridors only. And with this, that earlier there was a concept called One Nation, One Grid.
Right.
So with this green energy also is also getting integrated with that network. So we are going to build a very robust network all across the country, you must have witnessed that from last many years. I think there is no major grid failure
Right.
across the India.
Right.
Because that grid stability and all other things, government of India has worked very deeply with the government agencies, and we can proudly say that now India is running on a very stable grid all across.
Because the grid is like every transport system and everything is happening in our country.
Yes,
Basically, we are moving in the digital India and all that. This
Yes.
all connected to the grid system.
yes,
Of course, to run the whether it's a UTI or run the train or run the transport signal system, you need that better grid system.
yes, yes.
Which is government is also working, which is US.
And the advantage part is that suppose the power is getting generated at Rajasthan, somebody sitting at Northeast now, they can make a PPA
Yeah.
with that party and they can purchase there.
Mm.
Or somebody is sitting at northern part of the India and can purchase power from the southern part of the some company.
Mm.
So that kind of grid connection and transportation of electricity has been created now.
Wow. As a CEO, what are the leadership principle guide you dive into high performance team?
See, the basic thing today, if you'll just see, you should be the passionate enough to do the job, and you should love your job. Working hours should not be a criteria for you. If
Time
you-
से प्यार नहीं हो, काम से प्यार.
काम
This
से
is like
Yes. बहुत अच्छा. So when you are passionate enough
Yeah.
towards your job, you will not see the time period and other thing, whether it is Saturday, Sunday or something. You are passionate enough, you will complete your job, then only you will go. Or if even though if you have gone to your home, you will complete your job before going to the bed. So that is what I have seen, that sometime there was a concept is going on work-life balance, but if you will see, most of the leaders who has gone on top,
Yeah, sir.
they are passionate enough towards their job, their responsibilities, and then there are some basic core parameters which should be there, like integrity, entrepreneurship, team building. And then what I have seen, that you should be focused toward your job, the output of anything. Suppose if you are conducting any meeting, there should be some output out of that meeting. That meeting should not be simply discussed and without any conclusion. So that is the core things which I am following, and the same way I also try to talk to my team members all across. I take care them personally, and most of the time I used to talk to them. I used to guide them and give with some examples also how they can grow in their lives.
So how do you keep them motivated, sir, to focus them goal, achieve their goals?
So
I know you are a huge pressure because you are making a green network,
Yes.
the grid and all
Yes.
that. How do you keep them motivated?
see, to keep them motivated, you should always have dialogues with your teams. So we have devised now many mechanisms to keep on discussing with our team members. Now every month we are having a kind of mini town hall where we celebrate the birthdays, we welcome the new joiners, we have some fun activities, and there we also tell all the employees that what are the things which company is focusing, or during last month what are the achievements. And then we are also adopted a very good rewards and recognition policy, where those guys who are able to do something better, we are recognizing them in front of all the gatherings. We are giving them some awards, some certificates, and there are many SPART awards also. I also frequently visit to site locations. I will be meeting with our subcontractors, with our site team, all the junior, senior, everybody, and I keep discussing with them. Even sometime I talk to them if somebody is looking like they are not very happy, so their personal problems also, and that is how we are able to build a very strong team.
So the communication is the main point. Where you
Communication is
make
the line.
erasing the gap
Yes. Like
feel them that you are at home.
like our PM
Yeah.
did now every month Man Ki Baat.
Man ki baat. Exactly.
So unless and until you will keep this channel on, you will not be able to communicate with them, and you will not be able to understand the requirement of your team members.
The best part is you are working on the grounds also
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
That's help you to make the right decision.
Yes.
When you're working with the team, closer to them,
Yes.
working with them, know their problem.
Yes. Correct.
Whether it's a personal or professional.
Correct.
And this is how the best team made. And you have made a wonderful team.
Yes.
So thank you. Moving to our next segment, where I'm going to ask some personal inside question related to your personal experiences. So what's inspired you to work in the PT India space, sir?
See, this is a segment. Almost 30 years of my experience, I could see. If you will compare with other segment,
Yeah.
these are the project-based infrastructure segment PT&D, where you will be gaining lot of opportunity to work at various places, geographical places, all across India, abroad also. And that is how what I'm always telling my guys who are in power transmission and distribution and all these fields, project fields, that you are fortunate enough because you have selected that kind of field where you have a plenty of opportunity to visit various places of the country.
Correct.
Go to abroad also, meet the persons, understand their cultures. I can tell you, like many persons, everybody is almost going to hill stations and other places, seashore, spending lakhs of rupees. We have constructed many transmission line substation project in Darjeeling, Northeast, Leh Ladakh area, Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, and southern part of the country. So that is how we enjoy working at various places. We understand the local culture, and it motivates you also, and it enhances your capability level also.
So what piece of advice you give to the younger professional starting in this industry? One are you already know,
Yes.
the geography difference.
Yes.
काम के साथ साथ घूमना भी.
Yeah.
जहाँ लोग घूमने जाते हैं आप वहाँ काम
Yes.
करते हैं. Exactly.
So one thing is that I wanted to share that when some youngsters are starting their job,
Yeah.
they should start from the ground level.
Okay.
They should first select to go to sites where the real execution happens. All other things are to support the site execution only. So if they will invest at least initially few years of their life working at site, they will be able to really understand the type of job, the real problems, and the real solution also, the workable solution. So when they will be growing within the organization, they will be able to take the correct and good decision which is really can be implemented on ground. Otherwise, if you are what we have seen that most of the youngsters trying to work in the air conditioned office only, they don't want to go to site.
Yeah.
But then what happened, maybe initially few years you will be able to grow, but after a certain stage you will not be able to take the right decisions because you are not fully conversant with that ground level problems.
Correct. So how do you define success as a leader in infrastructure?
For any segment, the success for the leader remains that if you are able to build up a very good team which can take care in your absence also, is to my view should be the first and foremost important thing.
What answer?
Second thing is that you are working for the company, so whatever numbers are there, whatever top line, bottom lines, there should be a proper focus, and we should be able to deliver that, so that we should justify our job also. And more we should create a kind of culture within the organization that there should be person love to come to office to work there without any hesitation, without any pressure. So I feel if we are able to create that kind of culture, that will be the real success for us.
Wow. if you could summarize Jackson Infra PTND journey in one word or paragraph, what it be?
I can say the eyes on stars and feet on the ground.
Wow.
So we can say that Jackson is a very, in our DNA there is a persistent efforts are there. Whatever we decide within a year or two, we are there in that segment and we are able to secure the order, we are able to deliver the orders well before time and well within the cost and budget.
Wow. Okay, moving to our last question, sir. Any message you like to share with our audience, clients, partner, or engineers, or newcomers who want to come into engineering sector?
Yeah, that is what I was trying to say, that in the beginning, that we are fortunate enough that we have taken birth in the place called India, where everything is moving very fast. Politically we are stable, and geography wise also you can just see from sea to the hill, from desert to the beautiful mountains, everything is there in this country.
Yeah.
So whatever efforts we should make, we should also ensure that we are contributing to the growth of this country. As a every individual, if we will start focusing on that some contribution, then only जो मोदी जी का विजन है, that विकसित भारत by 2047, I think we will be able to fulfill that one. So that is what is my thinking, and that is how we are progressing well.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your time. It was such a, I can say, honor to have you on our show. The vision which you have, the leader you are, I'm sure the team which is working under you, they are very happy, because I know you're not kind of, after listening to this podcast, you're one of the leader which people wants to work. Where you said, you give the very good example that work on the ground, not on the office, but yes, which the ground going to help you a lot in the future, and of course in your life, in your daily life, of course. And the thought process you said for the young audience, that yes, work for your nation. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you so much for
Thank you.
your time.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
for that.